these sessions are being recorded. Hi again, this is Rosalie Acker. Please do call me Rosalie. If you're not comfortable with that, some other appropriate addressing of me is fine, but I'm kind of informal, so Rosalie is fine. So welcome to EA 871. I'll kind of start over. I see we have 27 people here tonight, and that's great. Maybe a few more will join, and I know that some people can't. All these sessions that we have will be recorded, given that I don't forget. So I urge anyone to jump in and help me to remember. Meghna, are you here? Oh, gosh, I hope Meghna is here. Meghna. Meghna may be helping a student. Meghna is our teaching assistant, and it's no, we can't hear you, Meghna. So while Meghna gets her mic figured out, I will go on. I'm sitting on a porch swing in central Pennsylvania. It's in the 80s. Nice evening. I have a cat beside me and a dog at my feet, and usually in the course of the evening, one or the other species will try to interrupt or purr or something. So be prepared for that. And if that happens on your end, no problem. Let me start with the syllabus, since we missed last week. And I do apologize for missing last week. There was a family emergency. My mother had an unexpected trip to the hospital on Monday of last week and was in for a couple of days, and she's out and doing much better, but I was otherwise occupied. So EA 871 is the first course in the EA certificate and the EA MPS, Masters of Professional Studies program. The first three required courses, which are courses for the certificate, also apply to the master's. So if you are going for the certificate and along the way you decide, I'm liking this, I want to go farther, all these credits that you take for the certificate will count towards your master's in professional studies in the EA. Let's see, the objectives. Understand the foundational elements. We're going to have a lot of discussion and interaction in this course. Everyone in this course has professional experience either with EA directly or with IT in some form. So we have some common foundation, not necessarily EA. In fact, I know we have people in here that don't have any EA background, and that's perfectly fine. And we will find that we have people in here who think they know what EA is and will come to reach a different understanding of EA as we go through this course. And a lot of that knowledge and understanding we get from each other. So I run an interactive class. You'll note that there are discussion boards every week, and I encourage you to discuss early and often on the discussion boards. If you only post on Sunday at 6 p.m., most people aren't going to benefit from what you have to say. I can't force you to post earlier. I'm also drinking a cup of coffee. I can't make you post earlier, but I encourage you to do so. Let's see, what else? Objectives. Yep, the instructor, that's me. And Meghna is our TA. She's just been recently added. She's been a TA for this class for, I think, at least twice for me. And so she knows what's going on and is a great source of help. She will be helping with the grading and answering questions. And, so don't hesitate to email Meghna if you have questions about the mechanics or when something's due or things like that. My cat. Okay. Some people have asked me how to get a hold of the text. And here's all the information you need to get a hold of the text. And I just said, online. You can get this in a Kindle version or a reader. Right. Yep. There. Right. And downloading it to Kindle or something like that is a great way. I have a hard copy. So whichever you prefer doesn't matter to me. Here's assignments and grading. Here's the breakdown. So we have 940 points here. And you can see we have discussion questions, focus questions. This is the topic summary and presentation. That's a team project. And here's also a team project, the framework project. So that's, if my math is right, 375 points in teams. The rest are individual grades. Exams are 150. And participation, that was introduce yourself. Meghna, you can hear us, right?
Yes, Rosalie, can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, we can.
How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good.
How's Texas?
It's good. It's hot, and the evenings are getting better.
Oh, good, good. Meghna used to live in State College, and maybe I shouldn't have said that. But Meghna, you moved to Texas. I just gave you up. Meghna left us and moved to Texas.
Yeah.
What does the team topic mean? Well, I will get to that. Thanks, Nitin. I will get to that. So let's see. Let's go on here. And here's the grading scale. Okay, let's go to class policies. While the classes aren't mandatory, these online sessions, I expect you to attend. Well, I expect you to attend if you can. I hope you make efforts to attend. I understand that you maybe where you are, you're far away in a different time zone and you can't attend. I understand you might have other obligations on Tuesday evenings at 7:30 Eastern time. I understand that, but I think if you can attend, I encourage you to do so. All work must be your own, except on the group project. Late work is penalized with a deduction of 40%, and I'll get to the exceptions for this week. It is imperative, this says you don't fall behind. Logging into Canvas, you do that regularly. Email through Canvas, and I will email you back through Canvas. That way we can keep track of our emails, attending virtual meetings, specified virtual meeting tools. Yes, so the meeting tools we use is called Big Blue Button, and it's embedded or integrated within Canvas. Technical requirements, blah, blah. University policies, don't cheat. Okay. So that's just a basic syllabus. Let's just talk about of course, I don't know why this always loads like this. It's so small. Let me try something else. Why does it do that? Hold on a second. Let me try to get something that you may be able to read it, but I can't.
Rosalie, can you zoom in so that probably that might
I
help?
can, but then it
Okay.
see the well. All right, team topics. In grading, how much? All right, team topics. So there are team topics. It's in this document, and you know, I don't know why it does that, but and some of the team topics are current trends, effective communication, careers in EA, roadmaps, governance, Internet of Things, big data, and whatnot. So you were supposed to put in your first, second, and third choices, or I don't know. You were supposed to rank your choices, not just your first, second, and third choices. You were supposed to rank your choices, and 23 people did by yesterday. And the rest of you, I figured, weren't sure, didn't realize what you were supposed to do. So yes, Magna, track changes is creating the problem, but when I convert it to PDF, I don't, yeah, so anyway, whatever. Team topics. So some of you didn't, maybe like 13 of you or 17 of you didn't. There's about 40 people in this class. So I just assigned you to a team because I needed to get this done. It showed up for some people in the class. Well, I don't know. It shows up on the yeah.
It was in the activities for.
It's in the activities and it's in the calendar, right? Who just said it was in the activity? It is in the activities. I wish I could show you. Let's see.
I think it was if you go to
Let me try to.
module.
Yeah, let me try to share my desktop and see if I have a lot of things on my desktop. I don't think I have the bandwidth right now. Yes, it is now. I can see. I just got it off the calendar. Right. So Chrome no longer supports Java. Okay. Right. I'm in Chrome. I'm going to log out, everybody, and I'm going to come in via Firefox. So give me a second. All right, I'm back. Can you still hear me? Okay, great. Now I'm in Firefox and let's see if I can share my screen. Sometimes when I did this, I got recursive a million screens. I don't know. It's not working so well. It's not working at all, actually. Okay, so I can't share my screen. Anyway, if you go to the syllabus and you scroll to the bottom of the syllabus, and the syllabus is on the left panel above modules, you will see all the assignments and activities by each week with the due dates. Also, if you go to the calendar for this course, you will see everything on the calendar. A third way to see it, what's due, is go to the modules and everything is listed by each week. Each week is a module. And you will see in the activities page everything that we're going to do that week, and you will see that's where you see also the discussion forums if you need another. So there's 3 ways that you can get to the material. No, I did not assign you by time zone. I already assigned you. The people, we don't assign by time zones. We assign by topic or random groups. So only have so many degrees of freedom and only have so much time. It's a distance course and you have to know how to work across distance, even if there is a time zone difference. We have people in far off parts of the world where there won't be other people in their time zone. So that's to answer that. So to find out what team you're on, what group you're in, if you go also under the syllabus modules panel, you'll see people. And if you click on the people tab or the people link, you'll get to a page that'll show you there'll be a groups tab, and under the groups tab, just open up the groups and the team topics until you find your ID listed. And if you have any problems with that, let Magna know and she can walk you through because I'm not able to, I can't share my screen. Questions? None? So let's see this. Okay. In grading, how much is it important to interpret in our language versus the book? Since we have the book to submit our assignments, it's very important to use your own language. Do not copy and paste the answers from the book. Bullet points are fine, but the whole purpose of doing the focus questions is so that you read the text, you find the answers that I think are important, and then you write them. And research shows that by doing that, you're learning more effectively than if you didn't write the answers. So that's the method behind that. Okay, now, some people mistakenly thought that things were due just before the class session. Things are due Sundays at midnight. That gives Magna and I time to go through them. And Magna, I don't know where you are on the grading, but I'm hoping that week 1 has been graded. If not, week 1 will be graded by tomorrow. We want to really want to keep up to date on the grading.
Sure, we'll do that, Rosalie.
Okay, so the idea is I go through the discussion questions or the discussion board, and I will pull together themes or key points that are made that I think will benefit the class in from the discussion board, and we will go over that usually as part of our class session on Tuesday evening. So that has to be done by Sunday, and sooner is better. And the focus questions also have to be done. That way they can be graded and we can have a meaningful discussion and on Tuesday. And if Magna sees any common problems on the focus questions or something, she can let me know, and then we can highlight that on Tuesday. So that's the weekly rhythm. Things are due for the most part. All discussion questions, focus questions and discussion boards, those are due Sunday midnight, and that's Eastern time. And then actually we can make it local time. Your local time, midnight. And then, but it will be marked late because Canvas goes by Eastern time, I think. Well, whatever. And then on Tuesday following the due date, we will have the synchronous session on the prior week's materials. Then hence starts the next week, the following week. So I've used that schedule in the past, and that works pretty well. All right. Yes, okay. So 8:59 for Pacific time. Yeah. If you turn it in past 8:59, Marius, for Pacific time, it'll mark it as late. I forgot about that. Canvas is just set up to do that. Never? Never what? Okay. Let's see. Where did my Bernard lesson go? Aha! There it is. Never pass the deadline. Right, never pass the deadline. Okay, so let's just dive into chapter 1. Now remember, many of us are starting at different places, and so we just want to get some of the basics down. So let me give you some background on Scott Bernard, who wrote the text that we are using. Scott Bernard is a big wig in EA for the government, and as people that we have a bunch of people in here that are working for the government or have worked for the government, and they can tell you that using EA is mandated by the government, correct? Somebody chime in. Right, federal government. Thank you, Billy. Thank you. The Klinger-Cohen Act. Right. So the government, federal government, as you know, big, lots of systems, lots of silos, lots of waste. And it was mandated that to reduce the waste, that concepts from enterprise architecture be followed. And so the government people, many of them can tell you that EA has been met with some success, is probably better than not having it, but of course it's a mixed bag of results. And there are different frameworks. We will look at frameworks. We will look at the purpose of enterprise architecture. We will look at enterprise architecture as a noun, and enterprise architecture architecting as a verb. Producing EA artifacts versus doing enterprise architecture. So Scott Bernard, yes, where was I? Scott Bernard, bigwig at the government. So what we're, I think he's moved on, but he's at some other anointed position, and he's a very well known in the domain of enterprise architecture. He wrote this book, and the version that we're using, it came out in 2012, and it is what I would call a traditional view of enterprise architecture. We will be looking at and discussing some other flavors or directions of EA, but this gives us a great foundation, Bernard's textbook, right? So we're going to blow through Bernard's textbook, almost every chapter. I think maybe, I don't know, chapter 13 we skip or something, but almost every chapter. And so here, the organizing influence. So I will pull things from, I made up these PowerPoints myself. They're not elegant, but, you know, I try. So over here, what you can see, if this were in a PowerPoint presentation, these boxes here are animation and would pop up at different times. But over here, if you have your text beside you, can see figure 1-1. And over here is a mess of things. And it goes through this framework here. This is Bernard's framework, the cube. And then it comes out all organized. And that's the thing about an architecture. It's an organizing endeavor. So there are different frameworks. Somebody tell me one framework. TOGAF, right. Give me another one. DODAF, right. Give me another one. Zachman, right. Anybody else? Government people? I don't know. I know FIAF. Is that the same as FIA? Yeah, I don't know, TEFM. Well, anyway, you get the idea. There's different flavors. Yes, FIAF. There's different flavors of frameworks. And, you know, just like other things, just like, let's say, an ERP system, you can pick one that fits your organization. And organizations do. They pick and choose. Probably, what is probably the most used framework these days? Yeah, it's TOGAF. Except, of course, if you're right. Okay, Europe may be more Zachman. US more TOGAF. And what does TOGAF stand for?
The Open Group Architecture Framework.
Ah, the Open Group, TOG, the Open Group Architecture Framework. You know,
Hey, Rose.
Yes, Charles.
Hey, this is Charlie Bates. Yeah. Do you, just a quick question, is it okay to talk on these things, or do you
Absolutely. Absolutely. Please talk. Yes. Yeah, if you
can I ask a question?
Sure. I can't hear you.
You can't?
Now I can.
Okay. So the this last lower box here where it says architecture implies a structured framework, blah blah blah, all resources in that entity. I noticed resources a few times in the reading. Is it ever people or is it the other stuff?
Well, let's see. Architecture plays a structured framework for the analysis, planning, and development of all resources. I'm gonna say yes, people, but we'll see. I I don't
I
really
guess
know off the
yeah,
top.
I got a little confused because just from terminology, resources to me
Right.
tends to be people, whereas like components are the stuff, programs and infrastructure and hardware and blah blah blah.
Right.
So I was seeing resources, and I was thinking that we wanted to be talking about systems and data, et cetera, but it was saying resources, so I just kind of wanted to ask that.
Also people. Right. Yes, also people, because we're going to get into discussions of when we have career paths, and we're going to get in discussions of skills and the shortage of EA skills. Uh, so we'll talk about people as a resource as well. So we'll talk about governance, areas of an integrated governance. Enterprise architecture plays a governance role. To be effective, an EA program must be part of a group of management practices that form an integrated governance structure. And we will talk about that. So, enterprise architecture, according to Bernard, EA is equals S plus B plus T, strategy plus business plus technology. Notice the business. That's the newest piece. Enterprise architecture strategy plus business plus technology. Sometimes you see some other acronyms, but usually they boils down, to this. You might see information in there as well. Gartner, I think they have BATE, business. We'll see. We'll see when we read Gartner. But EA is both a noun and a verb. The noun are the artifacts, a collection of models and information that is produced by following a framework. And a verb, enterprise architecture, can be a verb. We're creating an enterprise-wide architecture with standardized processes and ongoing management. So you'll often hear EAs talk about just as EA the noun versus EA the verb. And it took me a while to catch on to that, but